The sun is rising over the Limpopo River. Its banks make up the border between Zimbabwe and South Africa. Nearby, Sean and Emma are meeting with Billy Kaywood and his wife to capture giraffes on their reserve. This northernmost point of South Africa is the region where the Bantu ancestors of today's South Africans first settled. Instead of domestic cattle breeding, the farmers here have created wild animal reserves. Their only constraint, however, is to move surplus animals elsewhere so that they don't destroy the natural environment. This is why Sean and Emma have come here today. Sean and Emma discuss the number and the price of the giraffes to be captured with Billy. In the meantime, Billy's wife good-humoredly makes coffee for their guest Otto, who has come to observe Sean's work and to ask for help with his own captures. Height is obviously one of the major problems in capturing giraffes. They must not be permitted to see above the canvas of the boma, or they could destroy everything and escape. For Diggy Dig, however, this is easier said than done.
Excuse me. You better hide, Emma. Emma's peeping around the corner to see what's happening. Don't be so impatient. Remember their reach is as long as their legs, hey? Come on, boys. Come on. Okay, one more.
The team has not been able to lead the giraffes to the end of the trap. Now they're frightened, and leading them is even more difficult. On the site, each of the men measures his own height compared to a giraffe, which can be as tall as 4 or 5 meters. Each man knows how powerful an animal the giraffe is, and that it can kill with just one kick of its hoof.
Someone else go that way, will you? So come this way, the plastic comes this way. I want to come down here.
Sean, with the help of the others, forces the giraffes to lower their heads by spreading a canvas over the animals, since they're too tall to get through the truck's entrance upright. Sean has to resolve a small problem with the customer who will be buying the animals.
So we've got good news and bad news.
The good news is we've got 6 giraffes, not 5. And the bad news is we've got 4 bulls, 2 cows. Yeah. We needed 2 bulls, 4 females, but we've got 4 bulls, 2 females. So we're going to have to split them up and then promise the guys to bring some females from the next farm. The 2 young ones we'll keep together. How long are they?
3 meters.
Just under 3 meters or over 3 meters? Under 3 meters.
Arnold has worked with Sean for 10 years and is aware of all the risks involved.
You see, yeah, you can say that every animal is dangerous because it's wild, you see. Especially, let's say, maybe those giraffes. You have to watch out when you're catching them because the giraffe it can kick at front and back, you see. So we know these animals because we got a long service doing this job.
Semolina is the traditional African dish, but for Endris the cook, nothing beats a bush caterpillar full of protein.
Marvelous taste. Delicious. Oh, win.
The winner.
Need a break. It's been a bit busy today.
If the wind doesn't work, we might go down and go help them dart 2 giraffe quickly.
Where?
It's just up the road here in the local area. But we first want to make sure that we're not going to be catching here.
40, 50.
Okay. How far is it from here?
About 40, 50 kilometers from here. We were busy with giraffe and we had 2 that escaped out of the boma. So we can't capture them again, so we would like Sean to dart them for us and then we'll load them because it's big, large females. We've been doing our own operation for only 2 years now. So we are not into the darting yet. We will maybe next year or at a later stage start doing that. At the moment it's not necessary for us. It's first of all to get the license. You must go and do a course to do the medicine. So you must have time to take off to do that. And we are still new business, so we're building the business up and we will just do it step by step.
Come, guys, let's go.
Otto will have to wait. The wind is blowing in the right direction and Sean has to go after the missing females.
Isaac. Okay, his track's down. Everyone, where's Steven? Ready, huh? Let's go.
The giraffes John was looking for were actually nearby. But when it comes to captures, nothing can ever be taken for granted.
Okay, let's get the plastic.
The giraffes are not very easily impressed. The only way to succeed is to pretend you're as tall as they are. A canvas placed up high is one way of being taken seriously.
Ready, guys? Vala, Jimmy. Vala.
What's that shape? Eh?
Some sort of pass.
What's that baby there?
Get the plastic over her, man.
Yeah, I'm on that.
As she gets into the truck, Emma frightens the big female, who gets away once again. As a last resort, Sean tries using one of the boma's poles.
We must get the head over.
To prevent stress in the giraffes during their transport, tranquilizers have to be injected. Not an easy task for a veterinarian fresh from the city.
They got hell of a very thick necks. The skin is hell of a thick. Okay.
So do you tend to go in the heels? Or?
In the neck, yeah.
You do go in the neck?
Yeah, most of the time it actually goes subcut. And the best place is right on the side there. Okay, next three are yours. Good enough?
No.
That's him. No. That's diggy digs are 1 and 1, huh? You didn't do it. You can see how you...
It's no needle now.
You got one more to do. The one right in the front.
It's bending.
You want to use the glass one?
Yes.
You got it, eh?
Yes.
Yeah, first time. Well, it'll take a while, I see, you know. We'll practice a little later this afternoon.
Jan, the owner of this reserve, adores giraffes. Whenever he can afford it, he adds some to his herd. Today he's waiting impatiently for the new recruits he's going to buy to be set free.
What we're going to do now is we're just going to put the ramps down. Then we've got to sort the animals we're going to offload on the farm. We're going to offload 2 bulls and 2 cows. So we've just got to split them into the front compartment, keeping the 2 bulls that we're offloading on the next farm in the back compartment.
It's quite nice to look at. Yeah? And with this bush, the only thing you can see is giraffe. You see nothing small.
Yes.
If you drive through the bush, you don't see any small game. Because the impala, you can drive through, you don't see them at all. Nothing.
They say that the big baobab trees are the sentinels of the northern steppes. Unfortunately, their presence is not enough to keep poachers away. Some poach for survival, but others are employed by big international trafficking networks. Otto is also involved in the anti-poaching struggle and has established an intervention brigade under government license. It operates at the request of reserve managers. The outlaws, forced towards the second group, are stopped dead in their tracks by the firing of blank bullets.
Yes, you can come, we've got them, we've got them. The army will fetch you now.
We're hungry.
The police, they will take you to where you belong.
We're hungry.
Yeah. And we caught them red-handed. They tried to run away to the ambush here, and then we caught them. So they're in your hands now.
We can arrest them.
Let's arrest them.
Right, we arrest you. Come form a line.
And right. Right, hold.
In a country, however, where 50% of the people still live in poverty, the poaching problem is far from resolved. In 10 years, more than 100,000 elephant tusks and 500 rhinoceros horns have been recovered, a treasure worth several $1 million, which will not go to improve the condition of the poor. The next day, Sean and his entire team leave to help Otto capture the 2 giraffes which escaped from the boma.
Okay, so confirm the position I'm in now. It's not going to be okay.
Otto's helicopter pilot has already spotted them.
The one giraffe is probably a kilometer away from us, and another one about 2 k's away from that. So we're going to try and bring it into these open areas here so we can dart them and rope them here.
Sean knows that the giraffes will not return to the same boma twice. Preparing anesthetizing darts for the helicopter chase is the only way to catch them.
What we're doing is we're going to be teaching these guys how to do it as well. Okay, so I want to take just now, we'll take all their guys and we'll go do 1 or 2 runs. Okay, show them how to rope, where to put the ropes and stuff like that.
We twist the ropes like this. Do it like this, you see? And then you pull it and she follows. The first thing you've got to remember is to hold the head. It must not hit the ground to avoid injuries. Don't forget, someone is going to come to lift the head. Try to move out of the way so that they can give it an injection to wake up.
Otto's men are Vandas, whose ancestors left the Rosby Empire in Zimbabwe to settle in this part of South Africa during the 17th century. For these men, this type of giraffe capture is a first.
Emma? Yeah. Saying we do? Turn the head down, guys.
While the giraffe is still on the ground, the ropes have to be positioned, and the antibiotic and antidote injections administered as quickly as possible. A giraffe must not lie down for too long. The blood pressure needed to irrigate the brain when the animal is upright becomes too strong when it's lying down and could cause blood vessels to break.
Okay, she's quite heavily pregnant, so I want to get her head up as quick as possible. Okay? Here we go. So watch the legs, guys. Hey, Jimmy. Okay, when she gets up, that way, back to the road. You ready? Yeah. Watch out. Arnold, there's maybe 300 meters and then it's open from there onwards. If you carry on straight like it, there's a path that the giraffe will be walking on. But I don't want to cut there. What is it? They started walking. That bucky's going to be in the way there. We can just move that bucky there. She doesn't want to walk downwind, the wind's coming from behind us. She'll keep trying to turn in so she can smell the danger in front of us. We're putting the blindfold and the cotton wool in the ears, we've taken away her hearing and her eyesight. So the only two senses that she's got now is the touch and her smell. And at the moment she can smell everything behind her. She wants to keep turning into wind so she can smell any danger in front. That's why she's struggling. You see we have to pull her. Normally we can just walk them, we tap them and they walk. 1, 2, 3. One time! Where's the boss? Yeah, she's still a bit unsure. She's very wild inside there. It's a very light container. She can see out the whole time. So we're going to give her some more tranquilizer now just to calm her down before we bring the other one in. But we'll go do another one now. Sebastian, ready? One more.
My team learned a hell of a lot because in the near future we're going to have to do it ourselves. So we saw how it's done, the right way to do it, and from now on we're going to do it that way, hopefully.
Sean admits he helped Otto out of pleasure because he likes to see the giraffes dancing with men and to feel the great burst of energy and life in the bush, which he struggles to preserve a little more with each capture.